In this video, we're going to figure out how to DIY our own viral squishy dumplings. This is particularly important because a lot of squishy toys are currently being recalled due to containing unsafe levels of cancer-causing chemicals. This comes as no surprise, as there have been many viral videos going around of people testing these dumplings using VOC meters. VOC meters basically measure air quality, and some dumplings gave off more chemicals than a can of paint. Thankfully, the UK government conducted an official test, and now most of these toys are deemed unsafe and illegal to be sold. They discovered elevated levels of benzene, styrene, and xylene. The risk is classified as severe, with some of these toys containing over 4 times the legal limit of benzene. However, many other countries haven't caught up yet, and you can still find tons of these toxic dumplings everywhere. As a disclaimer, the dumplings mentioned in this video are not the official ones from RMS Toys, but counterfeit products. I tried getting in touch with RMS many times so I could film a real one, but they ignored all of my messages. So unfortunately, I can't show you a real one here, and I cannot say for sure if the real dumplings also give off a strong smell. The smell is basically the red flag. Here are some fake dumplings, and the first thing that hits you when you open it is an incredibly strong smell of gasoline. By sheer common sense, that tells you there's something wrong with these toys. I always thought the smell is from a glue solvent and it gets trapped inside the dumpling container. However, I also found a dumpling box with ventilation holes, and this one smells just as bad. These tiny dumplings are even worse, and it feels like you're breathing in solvents or lighter fluid. The weird part is that none of the components here should be smelly by default. This is just a squishy wrapper filled with glitter glue or sugar syrup. Just for comparison, I have a Nido Dream Drop, which is very similar. This one has absolutely no smell at all and is incredibly satisfying. So a big thumbs up for the official Nido products. All of my handmade dumplings in this video are also completely safe, and they do not smell after the glue has dried. I can only assume that the process of mass-producing squishies uses industrial chemicals that aren't properly removed from the final product. Nearly all of the viral squishies from 2026 are made using this stretchy transparent wrapper. Unfortunately, this makes them very hard to DIY because it's nearly impossible to stick or paint on this. My goal is to test out all kinds of glue to see which method works best for sealing up the base. I also want to find the most effective technique for adding facial features so they don't rub off the moment you squeeze it. This transparent material is called thermoplastic rubber, which belongs to the same family of thermoplastic elastomers. It's not silicone, which many people might assume. TPE can melt and reform at high temperatures, and it's the same thing used to make mochi squishies. We're going to start by testing out these 4 glues. The first one is TPE glue, which is a very obvious choice, but it's not exactly the same thing as TPR. This has a fairly strong smell, but unlike any other glue I've tried before. The second one is called silicone glue, and I bought it because there's a picture of a puppet on here. It seems like it's designed for fixing fidget toys and squishies, so it might work on silicone and TPR. This has a sharp, acrid smell, exactly like super glue. The texture is also very thin and watery, so I suspect that this is just super glue. The third one is a glue that came with a 3D diamond painting kit. I decided to try this because it has exactly the same gasoline smell that the dumplings give off. So just in case it could be trapped glue solvents causing the smell, this one might work on TPR. Last but not least is E6000 Plus, which is my favorite industrial glue for making tapas squishies. Normal E6000 smells pretty strong, but the Plus version has reduced scent, which makes it a lot more pleasant to work with. For the filling, I'm going to use clear slime. This is because it's soft enough to be squeezed, but also solid enough so it won't cause a mess. Mass-produced squishy dumplings tend to be filled with water, transparent glue, or shaving foam, but all of those sound a bit too messy just in case the glues we're testing don't hold up. One important thing is not to overmix your slime and glitter, otherwise it can look cloudy and dull. I prefer giving it a few twists so you can still see swirls of glitter around some areas of clear slime. Now I'm going to grab my illustrator and use it to get the slime inside. This doesn't seem like enough, so I'm just going to add another piece. The next part is something I've seen in Chinese squishy making videos. They always use plastic wrap to hold the stress ball together while the glue is drying. I'm going to apply TPE glue around the plug and then push it into place. Then I'm wrapping it tightly in plastic so the plug doesn't come loose. For the next dumpling, I'm going to make a pink filling using some glitter flakes and food coloring. I think the best part of DIYing your own dumplings is that you can make the inside look much nicer using whatever glitter or add-ins you have at home. For this one, I'm going to use the silicone glue, which I think is just super glue. It goes without saying that all of these glues are incredibly strong and should only be used with gloves and good ventilation. This is definitely not a step that children should be doing by themselves. I actually think this glue started eating through my gloves, which is why I took them off quickly, and the next shot shows my bare hands wrapping everything up. The third glue comes with this tiny applicator, which is great for bedazzling, but it's a bit tricky to use if you want to apply a lot at once. I had to go around several times before getting enough out. I'm finishing up with the E6000 and leaving everything to dry overnight. Some of these glues claim they dry quickly, but based on experience, it's best to allow at least 12 to 24 hours. Because the plastic wrap is nearly airtight, it slows down the drying process, but you need to keep them like this to prevent the plug from popping out. Here's everything the next day. As expected, the TPE glue has worked well, but I can see a small crack forming if I press too hard. So I'm going to add even more glue and make sure all the gaps are filled up. Now I'm checking the super glue, and I'm positively surprised by this one. It seems like the plastic wrap has melted into the glue, but the result is a strong seal over the entire base. There are no gaps around the plug, and it also feels thick and sturdy. I'm also pleasantly surprised by the diamond painting glue. It feels like the plug could come off if you press extremely hard, but it still does a pretty decent job of sticking everything together. The only thing I'm not a big fan of here is that I can still smell a bit of the glue. It's very faint and nowhere close to the toxic dumplings I showed earlier, but I feel it's best to go for an option that doesn't smell once dry. Lastly, we've got E6000. This looks good at first, but it seems like the glue is detaching from the base quite quickly. After a few squeezes, the plug has already popped off and the slime is starting to come out. So this is definitely not a suitable option for closing up squishy wrappers. Here, I've arranged all the glues in the order of how well I think they work. First is the super glue and plastic wrap combo. Then comes TPE glue, followed by bedazzling glue. The bedazzling glue has an unpleasant solvent smell that lingers a bit, so that's why I'm ranking it third. Last is E6000, which doesn't seem strong enough to withhold the pressure of a squishy. But as you'll see later on, E6000 does have other uses for making DIY stress balls. Now let's talk about adding eyes. My first idea is to use clear stickers or transfers. I ordered both of these from Amazon, and the one on the right is one of those foamy squishy customizing kits. It comes with these transfer sheets where you can scratch off the face like a temporary tattoo. I'm starting with the normal stickers, and I can immediately tell that these do not stick well on TPR. I think the problem is that the plastic isn't flexible, so the moment you squeeze the squishy, the surface bends and the sticker just peels away. It looks very cute though, and I'm going to use some white acrylic paint to bring out the shine spots. I'm also going to add TPE glue on the back and hope that this is enough to hold everything in place. Next, we have these transfers. I love this one here, and I have to cut it into separate pieces to make the face a bit bigger. I'm scratching the outside gently and then peeling away the backing film. These do not contain any adhesives like a sticker, but they stay in place incredibly well. I think it's because the film is so thin and flexible, it bonds to the surface of the TPR and can easily stretch or bend with the wrapper. Third and final option is to paint the face on. I'm using my standard method for Taba squishies, which is acrylic paint mixed with E6000. This is the cheapest option as well, and it gives you a lot of freedom since you can basically draw anything you like. However, it is also most time-consuming and you need a very steady hand for the details. Now it's time for the final verdict. This is the white glitter dumpling after a week, and the sticker has clearly started to peel. However, the parts where I glue them down seem to be fine, so I think you just have to make sure that the entire back is covered with TPE glue. The next one comes as a big surprise. Since E6000 didn't work for the base of the squishy, I was fully expecting it to fail for the eyes. But this seems to be attached perfectly. Even if I try to pinch or peel the eyes, it's still super stuck into place. It also bends and stretches with the squishy wrapper. So if you do have a bit more time, then this is a great technique for adding detail. Lastly, we've got the transfers. This worked amazingly well, and you can see that it stretches with the dumpling skin. This is probably my favorite method out of all three because of how quick it is. However, these transfers are quite difficult to find, and I only got them by buying a whole pack of blank squishies, making it the least cost-effective option. These transfers can also come off if you're a bit too rough with them, but I discovered a good hack, which is to cover everything with a clear layer of E6000. This provides the stability of the painted eyes with the ease of using a transfer. So this is how you make the most realistic viral squishy dumplings at home. To get the best results, you do have to order some specific materials, and I've linked as many as I could below. In my next video, I'll show you how to make all the other viral fidgets, including coconut oil, color-changing mangoes, chiboki bottles, and wax-cracking squishies. Since all of those use TBR wrappers, the things we found out in this video will definitely come in useful. I'm Joanna, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!